Hey everyone, it's Sunday evening, about an hour before the sun goes down, May 18th. Today I was listening to a little bit of an interview that Kristen Welker was having. I don't remember which Democrat, you probably saw it, she was interviewing. Might have been Chris Murphy or Eric Swalwell. Anyway, she got into this thing, this was earlier today, about this whole thing that mainstream media is doing. Oh, Joe Biden, he wasn't fit. Oh, Joe Biden, oh, well, he shouldn't have run for president. Joe Biden this and Joe Biden that. And how come nobody said that he was mentally unfit? And I was livid. Honestly, it was after Church of Spirituality and I was making myself a little lunch. And I was like, you can wait till after you make your pasta with vegetables in it. You can wait. and I couldn't. And I shot off a feedback form to CNN, and actually you can go to, just type in CNN feedback, and you can fill out a form to complain. We have the most abject criminal. It renders you speechless. How many crimes this guy, this dumpy guy, this trash, how many crimes he commits against the United States of America every day, including attempting to overthrow our entire country on January 6, 2021. And they're complaining about Joe Biden. Let me tell you, Biden ran for president in 2024 because no other Democrat was stepping up to run. Biden could have done it. And he had Kamala Harris. That's from 2020. That's what a decent person does. If a decent person knows that they know the job and that they can do the job really well, and they had proven themselves from 21 to 24, had proven himself capable. Joe Biden got in there. We were in the midst of a global pandemic that we couldn't get a handle on. Joe Biden turned this country around after a violent insurrection incited and planned by Donald Trump, violently attacking our United States Capitol building, and all the crimes, all the selling our secrets, all the bashing, all the sexual assault, all the bullying people, all the terrible names. It goes on and on and on. And they literally on CNN, and they've been doing this week, as dumpy as that trash is committing brazen national security. Our national security is like Swiss cheese, right? National security, blatant, unconstitutional, taking bribes, right? And they're over there going, well, I can't, well, how could Biden have, why didn't anybody say anything about his mental incompetence? Give me a fucking break. So I realized that I was picking up on something in the collective, because Kathy Beale called me, she sent me a text and said that Biden has been diagnosed with an aggressive prostate cancer, and then I realized that I was already enraged about how they've been treating Joe Biden. As far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure you all agree with me, mainstream media conducted a media coup against our democracy in the form of Joe Biden. We missed out on 4 entire years of Joe Biden's achievements as President of the United States because you had to go looking for the news. Because they refused to say anything positive about Joe Biden. Because they are fucking fascists. I promise I'll stop swearing now. I am livid. Maybe YouTube will be okay with that. So we're here to look at some things. We're in this time of great extremes. And the way that mainstream media is behaving is extreme. And they're going to be extremely sorry. I'm calling for a major boycott of mainstream media. If MSNBC is not talking about these things, then okay, I give, not bashing Biden, that's all they did. That's all mainstream media did was bash Biden. But there are some good reporters, there are some good anchors, and I don't want to diss them. But this is unforgivable what they've done to Joe Biden. And I'm sure the stress didn't help the cancer that was, maybe starting up during those 4 years. Joe Biden came from a generation, not very far removed from my dad's generation, maybe 10, 12 years. Really on the heels of the greatest generation that ever lived. I saw Joe Biden with World War II veterans, the ones that were left. I saw Joe Biden go to Europe and give an amazing speech during D-Day. I saw Joe Biden do such amazing things during his presidency. And I was proud to be an American, genuinely, not like the effing Lee Greenwood song. I was genuinely proud when Joe Biden was president with Kamala Harris, with that entire administration and with all they achieved for the United States of America, which was, in no uncertain terms, to save us from fascism at least for 4 years. And now here we are. So I want to, this is my call out. I'm going to read some cards too, but I'm calling up the troops of Americans to really double down on the harassment of mainstream media. Start there, and then we're just going to keep going. Joe Biden saved this country. Joe Biden deserves nothing but praise. And I've heard people that I'm surprised to hear this coming out of their mouths saying, oh, Biden, but he was committing crimes, because they believed the effing lies. Which makes me question, do people check their gut ever? Or is that something that's just not a thing? Because to me, as you know, it's my work. Makes me wonder. I'm interested in your comments about this, and I am definitely interested in starting a campaign of truth that goes much bigger than my YouTube channel. I will keep you posted about that, but as far as the news of the day, that one took the cake. But on the positive side, I really think that this brings Kamala Harris back out into the forefront. Let's bring our Buddha over here. We need Buddha energy. I do feel like this brings Kamala Harris back into the forefront, because Joe Biden was her friend. And when they were both on the campaign trail together back earlier, she called him out for a couple things, and Joe Biden is the kind of guy that would apologize, right? He came from a generation of decency, which is why I brought up my dad. And, kindness changes everything, because my dad taught me to be kind, because he was kind. And Joe Biden is kind. And that generation was kind. In general. course you met some oddballs that were just big jerks, but that's the case anywhere at any time. But it wasn't like the news anchors. I'm going to pull 3 cards to see how this affects. I mean, because if dumpy trash, in light of this, has the evil within him to continue to bash Biden, I just don't know what I will do except amp it up even more. Thank you for being with me, and thank you for hearing me rant. If I still have your attention, I'm going to read some cards. We'll get through this. We'll get through this together, and we will win. We will win our democracy back. We will take it. We will take it back. I'm pulling 3 cards on how this news will be responded to by mainstream media. By the way, while I'm thinking of it, please check out church from today. It's always inspiring and uplifting, and you're missing out if you don't watch it. Every single Sunday. We live stream at 1 p.m. Mainstream media holding back? The question is, how is mainstream media going to talk now? And this is just like, oh, they're not going to talk about Biden at all. They're just going to drop the subject. Well, I guess that's better than continuing to bash him. 3 of Rods. Well, the 3 of Rods is like starting to build something new. And the Page of Rods. There's a little bit of sheepishness here. There's a little bit of just kind of the mainstream media just kind of backing off and stopping that. Maybe starting some bad news, some made-up news stories that are bad about other Democrats. It doesn't even make sense that they've been bashing Biden in the first place because he's not the president anymore. They have egg on their faces. Don't think they don't. So they're gonna kind of like hold back. They're gonna lay off the Biden bashing for maybe a week. Maybe a week. But I really think we should take this opportunity to boycott the media, mainstream media, again. And to support all the pro-democracy channels that you can. I know Midas Touch has a podcast. They have Instagram. Go make sure you're signed up to all of those. Brian Tyler Cohen, all of them. All of them. So now let's look at how Kamala Harris is doing. Everybody shut up about her working to be governor, her campaigning to be governor of California, because that's ridiculous. And what they're trying to do there is to get you all to see, oh, poor Harris, poor girl. Oh, see, the girl had to settle for second best. The girl had to settle for second fiddle. Oh, she's going to try to run for governor of California, and she's going to see if she can make it. That's another gaslight. Did she say she was running for governor? I would be surprised. I would be surprised. There's nothing wrong with being governor, but she's a presidential person. She is extremely presidential. Go back and watch the videos of the DNC convention and watch her speeches again and again and again. We need to plant that seed. I'm not happy that Midas Touch just dropped her. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about her. Seven of Cups, Strength. Okay, the gaslighting that the media is going to continue to do is actually going to make her stronger. And I just want you to know that it makes me feel stronger about fighting harder, fighting back harder. As you can see, because I'm cussing like a sailor. The Knight of Pentacles, I feel like people are going to start really supporting whatever she does. I'm not going to really get into using the pendulum about like whether she's... I'm not even going to get into that topic about governor. The Knight of Pentacles, here's the thing. She's strong in the face of all this gaslighting. She's letting the facts speak for themselves. If these tariffs are really going through, and I see them kind of, you know, going this way and that way and yo-yoing and insanity, the Dumpy's antics are going to speak for themselves. So she knows that the gaslighting can only go so far, because when it hits people's stomachs and that they're hungry and their finances and their jobs, you know, that's going to speak for itself. And the Knight of Pentacles is saying the people are going to rally around Kamala to get back into her position, her rightful position. I mean, think of it. To run for governor of California is a downgrade. I know, there's a lot of anger in the air. I'm fine, but I'm just feeling the collective rage, which is a good thing. It's a good thing that people are angry. Joe Biden was like one of the best presidents in American history, but no one thinks that. Okay. 3 cards about Ukraine right now. Getting a lot of support. Yeah, Ukraine's getting a lot of support, especially from 6 countries. And NATO, the 8 of Pentacles, they're working really hard and seriously about taking down Putin in whatever way they can. There's a lot of beautiful energy between Zelensky and the other countries and even the Pope today. So keep your eyes, I mean, honestly, I know that I rant and I get really bent out of shape, but that's just my nature. I'm a fire sign. And, you know, I like that protest sign. I always bring it up. If you're not angry, you're not paying attention. But I really feel Putin failing in the near future. I do. And, you know, for that matter, he's failing right now. I dropped the card. Hang on. And, you know, if you just look at it from an energy perspective, Dumpy is, he's done. He's just done. He's got nothing. He's got no credibility whatsoever. I even saw a little clip of somebody from Saudi Arabia, one of the dignitaries there, who was actually saying that they couldn't stand him. I saw it on a YouTube short. They could not stand him. He was just all about the grift. They're a little more subtle, you know. So let's pull 3 cards about. I mean, I was surprised to see that. Let's pull 3 cards about our relationship with our allies. I mean, our relationship, meaning the American people, with our allies. Yeah, isolated. Here we have, yeah, they're seeing us as isolated. And they do see that we are other countries see America as isolated and not knowing about the secrets because we're being gaslit. 7 of Cups again. That's how our allies see us. Like, oh, the Americans, they don't know that this is all the Kremlin. Because it is. No matter how you slice it, it all boils down to Russia. What did Pelosi say a long time ago? All roads lead to Russia. And Hillary said, you're Putin's puppet to Dumpy. So this is how the rest of the world sees us, as isolated, as not knowing what's going on. You know, that Dumpy didn't really win. And the 7 of Cups, they see us as being completely gaslit. It's up to us to show the rest of the world that we have brains. And we have class. And we're not crass. And if you ever doubt, I'm going to just keep saying it. Go back and watch those Kamala Harris, Tim Walz rallies. It's sanity, it's normal people, it's democracy. All right, let's ask one more question. I spent most of this time venting, but you know, it's kind of like, it helps me to do these sessions. Say lots of prayers for Joe Biden and his family. I'm sure that's a tough one. It's always hard, you know, and we have limited lives here, so let's all make the best of our lives. Let's get out there and like that Bob Dylan song, you gotta serve someone. You gotta serve someone. And just know I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be posting Off the Ledge daily, and I'll do a pop-up daily. The YouTube videos are helping my income. I do monetize them now. Hardly anybody at all has been booking readings, so if you book a reading, it's a two-way street. Helps me help you. I understand people just come to the videos for the psychic news, which is fine, but just if you feel so inclined to get a reading, please do. psychic@dion.com. And then tomorrow night's PNN, so we'll do a deeper dive during the live. Deeper dive during live. And I'm going to start working on a song about Joe Biden, and I think I'm going to call it Unsung Hero. I got that when I was talking to Kathy on the phone earlier. Okay. And by the way, speaking of songs, I know Kathy and I were talking about Bruce Springsteen and you know, trash, orange trash. Maybe I'll call him orange trash. Dissing the boss. And she was asking if I thought anything would happen, like are they really gonna give Bruce a hard time when he tries to get back into America? Give me a break. Anyway, Bruce Springsteen's, one of his sons is a New Jersey, he works for the New Jersey Police Department. I don't know if he's a state cop or just a regular cop in his city. And Bruce Springsteen is also really good friends with Obama. And Obama, I think, has security, right? So of course, he still has a security detail. So as far as I'm concerned, if there's any kind of, you know, other threats coming at Bruce, he's got lots of protection. And I think that I responded to this, and somebody left a comment about whether Bruce would be okay, and I said his son's a cop and his buddy is Obama, who would probably say, hey, if you want my Secret Service to meet you at the airport, hey. You know what I'm saying? The good people will win. Don't you worry. The good people will win. Okay, I'm going to pull 3 cards about the orange trash. What's his fate? 8 of Swords is feeling imprisoned. 2 of Wands, doesn't know what to do. And the Hierophant is our Constitution, is after him. He's failing in court for all these constitutional violations he wants to commit. He's failing. The 8 of Swords this is not a card of freedom. And the Rider-Waite deck, it's the person who's wrapped up in like a mummy, blindfolded. That's the jail card. I mean, I know he's not physically in prison. He probably will never physically go to prison. But nonetheless, he's in prison. He's in the prison of his mind. And if you think that would be a pleasant place to be, think again. The man is in holy hell in his head. And if it's any consolation, I say it all the time, just be grateful that in your life, every one of you here, you've had some semblance of love in your life. It's been there somewhere. For Dumpy, for Orange Trash, never has he known love. Just transaction. That's what I have for you now. I hope no one was offended by all my cussing and anger, but I know that collectively, when we are all feeling the same emotion and we mobilize together, there is nothing that we cannot do. This is the United States of America. There's nothing that we cannot do. Joe Biden has said that a lot. Keep the faith, and I'll see you tomorrow. Namaste. Thumbs up, please, and subscribe. Bye.